such as ourselves and, as I was saying, fitness influencers, right, has caused the whole industry awareness to go on to a whole other level. It's not just a bunch of people working out, but rather, people looking up to and people knowing that what they are doing is actually making a difference, right?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Entrepreneur Wired podcast. And this is episode number 3, and at Entrepreneur Wired we share brand stories of startups and entrepreneurial stories, and we take you through the journeys that these entrepreneurs have gone through in their lives and in the world of business, which has taken them to where they are right now. And joining me here today at episode number 3 are two very special gentlemen, Yasitha and Senushka from Strong.LK. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. What was the inspiration behind Strong.LK, starting the brand?
That's a really good question, Abba. Thanks for asking that, right? So, starting Strong.LK, right? I think that goes back to our school days, specifically in like 2013 when we first started gym, right? And to be honest, me and Senushka both, we started gym at around the same time, right? Even though it was two different gyms. So that really started our mutual passion towards fitness, which was like the initial inception of, our journey towards this, even though at that time we didn't really know this, right? But then in terms of starting up the brand itself, right, that really came upon when we were starting our degree, right, back in like 2015, right? So back in the day, the daily routine was basically, just get up, go to gym, and then come back home and go to lectures, right, and the same cycle on and off, right? But then, actually it was just one casual conversation that we had, right? To be honest, we always have conversations with regard to fitness, but this particular day we were, thinking of what we can do towards the fitness industry, as in like the fitness community in Sri Lanka, right? What we can give back, specifically how we can share our mutual passion towards fitness with the rest of the island, right? And so it was just like, I think like about, about half an hour, 40-minute conversation that we had, right? And during that time, we came up with the name. To be honest, this guy had like this app.
How long did it take for you to come up with the name?
Oh, that
probably about 30 minutes max.
Wow,
yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what took the longest time, I think, to come up with the name, right? Yeah. So we came up with the name in like 30 minutes, right? And then Senushka, I think you can tell the story of how you found that, and then
So like what Yasitha was telling, we want to give what we at that time, which was in 2015, I think November, what we didn't have in the fitness industry at that time. We want to somehow give it to the fitness audience, because there was a growing market in fitness, and people are more interested. All these exercise parks, gyms were coming up, so people were properly going to gym, and they had one concern of getting supplements. So that came later on, but how we came up with the logo was what I'm telling is how fast we came up with the name. We thought of a name, we came up with Strong.LK. Then I don't know, for some reason I had an app called Fonto in my phone, right?
Yeah.
So that's how, for this date also, that's our logo.
Yeah.
We made our logo through Fonto.
Wait, are you saying that all happened in the 30 minutes or on the same day?
Same
That
day.
is insane, man. Like that doesn't happen all the time, right? I mean, people literally kill each other over names and logos, and it's always back and forth.
People do a lot of, I think, like market research just to come up with, the ideal logo, ideal
I think
names.
that goes to show the amount of chemistry that you all have, starting as schoolmates and then going on to being college mates and then starting the business just 5 years ago. So on that note, if you can let us know a little more about the brand that is Strong.LK, and what is the vision you have for the brand, what are some of the product offerings you have for your customers?
Yeah. So I think Strong.LK, right? So as me and Senushka were talking about it, we came up with like in a 30-minute time span, right? But to be honest, we've reached far and wide beyond that, right? And starting initially as well, as we were telling, we wanted to give back to the community, right? And how we started off is throughout our social media pages, we wanted to highlight the Sri Lankan athletes and what they've accomplished in the Sri Lankan fitness industry.
I remember,
right?
like powerlifting Kodi, for example.
Exactly, right? Like Ransilu, right?
Yeah,
he was Sri Lankan medal winning champion, right?
Commonwealth,
multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Himself, Kodi.
Good friend of mine.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. So then, like all those guys, right? Even though they had achieved that much, and but they weren't on the same pedestal as athletes and other sports in Sri Lanka, right?
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that they've given any less to the country. They did not had any other any deficiency in their dedication, right?
Yeah.
But then it was just a matter of fact of them not being highlighted enough,
Spotlight
right?
was not on the sport.
Exactly, right. Not only them, but even like let's say like even the average gym goer, right?
Yeah.
But like people who have achieved certain physiques, but not really been able to highlight themselves on a scale visible to the whole island as well as abroad, right? So that's where we started up with our Instagram platform, social media platforms, try to highlight these athletes, and then went one step further, in terms of doing like videos in terms of training, motivational videos with them, and then tying to that we also had our blog Strong.LK, the website, and with that we came up with like tons of fitness content, right, dedicated towards the Sri Lankan audience, because as you guys might know, like us as Sri Lankans, our diet, our lifestyle, everything is different, right?
Absolutely.
So both of us had a challenge, is, to be honest, like if you want to find a workout plan and all, you had to Google, and then you see like what Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever, right? You try to maintain, you try to do his workout, but to be honest, you won't get the same result.
Keep up to that.
Because it's not just about the diet, right? It's about the weather, the
Exactly.
terrain, the altitude, and even like you told me the other day, the genes that we have. So
Exactly.
that's very interesting that you said.
Yeah. So like, I mean, you try to maintain that level of body. So not maintain, you achieve the level of body, right? Following his diet plan, which in the first place you can't, right? Who the hell can eat like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah. And one thing, it's hard to eat like him. Another thing, probably like 90%
like
of us
him, yeah.
won't have the budget, to eat like him and to train like him like twice a day, every day. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I think like what both of us thought is like to have that lifestyle for Sri Lankans is different, right? But we should, it's not impossible, right? But we should see how we can give that advice catered to Sri Lankans. So that is why all of our content was geared towards how a Sri Lankan can achieve greatness in the fields of fitness, right? So that is how all our blog articles, all our training, motivational video content was started up, right? So that's more a bit about how the Strong.LK social media platform started, right? And that is how we actually got our organic reach enough to be able to put us in a position where we can actually start up a store, right? So that's a bit about how we started up.
The vision for us as Strong.LK, what we plan in the future, right? Currently also, I believe that we have quite a prominent market share, and we are catering to a big fitness audience at the moment, but we are never the best, right? So we have to always constantly thrive to become the best. So we are always because our core concept is the same, right? In 2015, there was space in the market which was not catered to, but now it is catered to. But what we are trying to do currently is to cater to it in a better way.
Yeah.
Right? So it could be supplements. One of the main problems that we had initially when we worked out was from where to get proper quality supplements and to where to go to learn about that, right?
Yeah.
But now I think customers are trusting us. We have a huge customer base. We are providing proper nutrition, and also when a customer purchases a supplement from us, right? They are not just purchasing a supplement. We will go through the entire process of how to take it, what will happen, what are the differences in this, like whatever you have any questions about supplements, we'll not just give the product, okay, take it, go, and that's not the end of the relationship, right? So the customer relationship for us,
it's not a one size fits all approach.
Yeah.
It's a very customized approach depending on who the customer is.
So in addition to the supplements, right, and the shakes, we also have an interesting endeavor that we've started called corporate training, right? So as you might know, someone in the corporate industry has to have a sedate lifestyle of working from 9 to 5 or even more at one particular place most of the time, right? And that tends to, get you to have a bit of a tummy, like yourself, right? But
why you do that to me?
So that's what. So I'm converting a potential client here, right?
That's true.
So then,
because I think if I'm to interrupt you for a second, I don't think mankind, if you look at it from like primitive times, where they are not meant to be in one place. From
Exactly.
caveman times to everything, you've been always running,
Yes.
farming, hunting, gathering. So yeah, sedate life is really bad.
Yeah.
You should never tell me that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's something that started like post the industrial revolution, right? But then, as you say, so we are meant for an active lifestyle, and because the lack of it, right, and the increase on the flip side in terms of the calorie consumption whilst you are at one place as well, right, and has resulted in a lot of people, having a unbalanced physique, right?
Correct.
So, and a lot of people do want to change that, but to be honest, one, they don't have the time in their mind to be doing something about it, and also they don't have the right motivation to be going about it, right? So what we did was we approached the corporates themselves, right? And then obviously a lot of companies are into the fitness scene in terms of getting their employees healthy, right? Because they know if a healthy employee is a longer lasting employee, right? And so we got like quite a bit of clients on board with us, which we can't disclose at the moment because of the NDAs that we have. But so basically what we do in terms of a corporate training is we go after hours to the company itself, right? And our qualified trainers do a highly tailored cardio as well as core session, right? In order to help the employees at least start their fitness journey towards having their ultimate physique, let's say. I mean, not like, let's say that a couple of days a week is going to, make them Arnold Schwarzenegger, but at least they are, it's going to plant the seed in the head that they have to, start something to go in the right direction. Right?
If I'm to add one more point there, we actually did a research also in one company where we did corporate training, and from the research we found out that the company was able to see people were taking much less medical leave, and they were more active in their normal working environment. So that was quite good. So what I'm not talking about is not like what Yasitha said, they'll not become Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it will help them do their work that they're currently doing.
Sure, man. Although I have a tummy, I just want to let you know that I do go for a beach run, and whenever I go for a beach run in the morning, I live at Montenegro, by the way, I feel like super refreshed, and I feel like I can keep going on and on. Exactly. Whereas if I don't do exercise, I box a little bit with my brother, I don't feel so good. So on that note, let's move on to our next question, which I have for you.
Sorry, again, sorry to interrupt you. I think that is one thing that we have quite a bit of offerings that I don't think this podcast would be enough. But one last thing that we do have, right?
As long as you don't take shots at my tummy,
No, that's fine. I think the last shot, the one and
next
only
time
one for the day.
Next time you see me, I'm going to be 6 pack.
That's true. I mean, this is the start of our fitness journey, right? So hopefully. So another thing is the online coaching that we do, right? So that's taking it one step ahead, right? So basically anyone and everyone, right, can one thing again for people is that they don't know where exactly to in terms of guidance, right, like what exactly to do, when to do, how to do it, right? That's a whole mystery. I mean, you can research, you can come to our platform, Strong.LK, get the right information, but to do it on a consistent basis sometimes hard unless you have that intrinsic drive within yourself to be able to do it, right? And even then, right, so to be honest, even like myself, like Senushka, I mean, he hasn't gymmed in like a couple of years, to be honest.
I started.
He started recently, right? That's good. But like even like us, right, as what the fitness enthusiasts, we have ups and downs, right? But we believe that if you have a coach right behind you, that's going to push you each and every day to start, right? So that is how our team is dedicated in order to help people achieve their fitness goals. So online coaching again is something that has blown up really well in Sri Lanka, which is really good for the industry as a whole. But what we believe is that it's almost overpriced in a sense that most of these trainers, they charge, I think it's fair enough, right? People are making their careers, but I think they charge on a level that is on par with some of the international trainers, which I don't believe is fair to the Sri Lankan market, because obviously we are not in the same wealth gap, income bracket as the first world countries, right? So I don't think it's fair to be charging that amount, but obviously it's up to the person, the people, and they, everyone should be earning a living as well. But what our basic idea is to be able to give.
It's accessible to pretty much
Exactly,
everyone.
make it
Yeah.
accessible to each and everyone. So we charge nominal amounts, but we give our full potential, we give our full dedication towards the each and every client, and it's not like we charge per monthly basis. We charge towards the goal. We ensure that the person achieves their target fitness goal, and then only we get our money.
Very
Right?
result based.
Exactly, we are result based.
payments as opposed to payments per month or how many sessions you do.
Yeah, so I mean that's something that we are as part of our core values, right?
Yeah.
It's our passion is fitness. It's not just to like grab and go
Correct.
gain a quick buck, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that's again, I think we covered most of our
Yeah.
fitness
I understand.
offerings at the moment, right? So yeah, I mean,
Perfect. So I think on that note, it's about adding value up front.
Exactly.
And money being a byproduct. And once you add value to a point where customers have recognition for what Strong.LK does, I think money will eventually follow. On that note, let us move into some of the other interesting areas in running a business, which is running a business is a journey, right? It's never a smooth one. There's always ups and downs, and there are various challenges the entrepreneurs have to face when it comes to building a business, especially to the scale that you all have built it already. So, however, like challenges come in different stages. Like there are different phases of the business. The initial phase is setting up the business, and then we have phase 2, which is scaling the business to different geographical locations, adding new team members. So if you can take a trip down memory lane and explain some of the challenges that you all faced in 2015 when setting up the business, and then tell us what are some of the challenges that you face now as you're on a journey to scale the business and branch out.
in terms of challenges, actually, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, to be
Yeah.
honest, there'll be plenty of that. I think Senushka can take a stab at it.
I think everyone who's in the business industry, whatever that business is, they'll know what are the challenges that are there, right? You will not think of these challenges, right? Like that could be from the smallest thing, right? Those could also be challenges, but it's the way you take it, right? Like for one example, when we started the business, we didn't have enough money. Both of us, we were studying. We didn't want to take money from our parents or whatever. We just wanted to do as we could, right? We wanted from the platform itself, we were able to earn a substantial amount through different in various ways. And the first challenge I would like to say about the store is when we were going to do the carpeting, right?
Okay.
So the carpeting, I think it was about we spent about, I guess, maybe about 20,000 for the carpeting only. Okay. We had one of our good friends called Lahiru. He was telling us, okay, let's do this. This entire store was his design, right?
Okay.
Because he was studying architecture in those days. Because we didn't have to pay him. He came. He was helping us a lot, right? Putting up CCTVs, putting up everything. So to save, if we were to put the carpet from that guy, we had to pay 7,500.
If you were to get a guy to do it.
Yeah, to do it, we had to pay about 7,500 rupees, right? For us, 7,500. Then after spending 20,000 on the carpet was a lot, but it is nothing, right? It is nothing. But what we did was we got one of these gums what you paste the carpet with. We went to PETA. We got the entire carpet roll. We have a photo also. We can share it later on if you guys are interested. We got it inside his vehicle. We came back and we did the carpeting entirely by ourselves. Even this, I don't think you all can see it. All of these were done by
Are you serious?
us. Yeah, the pasting too.
But I think that
to reduce the
highlights,
cost.
as interesting as a point as that is, it highlights the fact that when it was a startup, even that small sum, which is 7,500, which is now, was a big sum at that time.
And I think you have to be, willing to get down and do the thing, right? To be honest,
hands dirty.
Exactly, right? I think that's the whole thing. Like in terms of, everyone can plan good things, everyone can have these good ideas, right? But in terms of getting down and executing that's where I think a lot of people don't or,
are willing to do it.
Are willing, right? Exactly, to go the extra step. So that's what Senushka was saying, like the carpet, right? I mean, in hindsight, 7,000 might not be a big thing, but then back in the time, like when once we had allocated our budget mainly for, getting the supplements down, paying all those taxes and everything, and, being able to build a store with this quality, right? So we didn't want to compromise on the quality itself, but some of these things, putting carpet is something like, it's not rocket science, right? But that was something we believed that we could, and to be fair, like, in the end of the day, I think we did a pretty job at it as well. So I think I mean, if you have any carpeting needs as well, I think you
Wow,
can buzz us up.
that's awesome.
Yeah, for
Cross-selling and
7,000
upselling,
rupees.
right? Is
we'll
that
be the
also
guys.
under the Strong.LK brand? or is
That's
it-
like a side hustle of ours, not
Awesome.
directly. Yeah.
any other challenges, any interesting stories that you would like to share with us?
So
Maybe during now, maybe? I don't know.
So I think,
Feel free.
so in terms of challenges, right? I think then currently our challenge would be, on a day-to-day basis to be motivated enough to be doing something better than yesterday, right? So I think that's a challenge for every business, not only a startup. I think even for big companies, right? I think like if you see a lot of companies which have failed, right? Let's say like Blockbuster, Kodak, right? Like, plenty of
Yeah.
those. I think the reason that they fail is that they tend to stick to the same thing.
Correct.
Like rest on their laurels and
Monotonous
expect
routine kind of,
exactly right, and expect I'm like getting money from this whatever, right? No need to do anything much. But for us, it's like that itch is always there to be able to do something one step ahead, right?
Yeah.
But for us personally, I think the barrier is like right now because both of us are doing corporate jobs, right? But still, we try to find that we set up like weekly Zoom sessions in order to brainstorm what we can do over the next couple of weeks, right? What interesting thing we can start if we had already started something, like basically all of these, right? Like this shakes, starting up online coaching, starting up corporate training, bringing down our accessories, doing our apparel, like everything, even like the day-to-day operations, right? Most of the time it's done outside our working hours, right? And then because we are always willing to start something further or start something new is what has kept us motivated, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the challenge mainly, I would say, is like
You gotta keep the fire burning, yeah?
exactly,
You gotta
right?
keep the
That
passion,
not being in a monotonous routine would be the main challenge that.
Speaking of Dush, let me direct this to Senushka. Having a team, a dynamic team which is aligned to the vision of the founders is extremely important, but at the same time it is tricky. Building a team such like that is not always, it's not always a smooth run. But what do you all do to keep them motivated and aligned to your vision? And could you also explain to you what the impact the team has had on the growth of Strong.LK?
So, interesting question, Abha. Thank you for asking that. So far, if we look at the Strong.LK team, it's very small. Like we have Yasitha, myself, Dush. We have most of the things, right? 90% or 95%, I would say. Up until today, right? It has been done through the execution of the three of us, right? Definitely, if the team is big and if we can commit more time, we would do greater things, right? This is just both of us being fully employed. Dush running, like most of the time, Dush is the person who's running all the social media to everything. He is the guy who's handling the store and like.
Wouldn't have been possible without Dush.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dush.
Shout out to Dush.
Follow
Well, others-
Dushantan on Instagram.
Yeah, he
What
has
is his Instagram profile going?
Dush
Dush
1
1, 2, 4,
4, 5. I don't know. what-
Follow.
Yeah.
So we have greater things in the future. We'll be by the time when this video is also launched, we'll be having a bigger team, right? We'll be launching a team on Sunday.
Oh wow,
And,
okay.
yeah.
Good
So-
timing.
Good timing, yeah. So
You heard it from
look at
us
that
first,
also.
guys. You
Yeah.
heard it from us first.
You're like,
Depending on when he releases video.
yeah, don't release it before though. So we are just putting teasers at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
with the team, we can do bigger things.
For sure.
And that's where the team effort will really play in, and you'll see bigger things. Trust me, you'll see bigger things.
Fingers crossed and all the best,
Definitely.
guys. So, like what Senushka was saying was, you guys, what you were saying was, if you had were doing this full time, if you had more time, that you all could do bigger and better things, which is obvious. You have done this for 5 years while doing a corporate job, and there are so many entrepreneurs out there in Sri Lanka, right, where things are not always smooth running. The infrastructure are not necessarily in place like in maybe a first world country. So how do you all balance between a corporate job life and building or rather maintaining a business of this nature?
Yeah.
Quite difficult, honestly, right? Because most of us now, even today's video, we started shooting at 6:30, right? Because most of the time, if the three of us has to meet at one exact time, we'll have to meet. That is definitely after 6:30, right, or 6:37 at the store, or else it will mostly be on a Saturday. So Saturday, 90% of the time, the three of us, if the schedules are schedules are aligning, we'll be meeting up at the store and then we'll plan. So that will be an entire week's plan that we'll be doing on that day. But there has been I think for thousands of times that Yasitha and myself, we have met up at the store after about 9 o'clock just to talk, okay, what are we going to do, and
So I think, again, if you have the passion, I think you'll always find the time, right? To be honest, it is hard, Senushka was saying, to find that because it's always after hours. It's time that we could be personally using for ourselves. But then again, what we think is, we're always doing this, for the greater good, to be able to do something that is going to, basically have a legacy, right? Like have a long-term impact, right? So then it's not about, short-term, again, like coming back to, I think, anything you do in life, right? You can always look at the short-term gains versus long-term benefits, right? So obviously short-term wise, it might not be, like as smart, this, because obviously in terms of the corporate ladder as well, there's plenty of potential there that we could be going, right? But we sacrifice that time, we sacrifice that effort that we could be, utilizing for something else to this platform, right? To this store. And whilst that is a challenge, I think it's also what has got us started in the first place, right? And that motivation to be doing something for the greater good is something that's always, kept us going forward. So it is a challenge, right, as you said. And while it is a challenge, it's something that's always interested us. So we see it as more of something interesting to be doing, right? So,
but even though it's interesting, like you said very correctly, it does contain an opportunity cost. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat here, right? I don't know who's going to answer this, but would one of you maybe at some point consider becoming full-time? Why are you looking at him?
No, I don't know.
The employers won't be.
I hope they're not watching this. Let's block them from this.
No. My employers are.
Probably. Let's see. I will have to.
You actually put Senushka.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Not fully.
That's a very safe answer, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
That's, obviously.
Something to consider in the long run. You don't know when it is,
definitely.
but it's something that you have to consider in the next few years.
Passion lies, and if that's something that you love, definitely.
Yeah. Exactly. So on that note, let's move a bit into the industry, because both of you were talking about the industry and the state it was in when you all were first in school, then in college, and that's where you all had the initial inspiration. But currently, where do you see the fitness and nutrition industry in Sri Lanka?
Yeah. So I think back in like late 2015, right? I think it was just like a bunch of people isolated doing their workouts, right? But right now, I think, to be honest, the fitness industry as a whole has got a good standing, right? There's a lot of fitness influencers that have come within this past few years, which is really good for the industry as a whole, and in terms of also gyms, right? I think back when we started, like, let's say like the base gyms like Power, right? They were just a few branches, but I think they franchised, they've got like multiple times bigger, right? Which has helped spread the word of fitness right throughout the island as well. So it in terms of volume, it's much bigger, right? And in terms of awareness that the social media has been able to cause in the fitness industry is even massive, right? Like platforms such as ourselves and, as I was saying, fitness influencers, right, has caused the whole industry awareness to go on to a whole other level. It's not just a bunch of people working out, but rather, people looking up to and people knowing that what they are doing is actually making a difference, right? There's a lot of people, like, again, on Instagram, right, who believes they can also come up and make a difference in terms of fitness, right? They know that it's a potential career path, like what online coaching, right? Like that's, as I was saying before, right? I think that's somewhere that people can earn more than their normal corporate jobs, right? Pretty much, like, if you look at getting like 20-30K from a client. I mean, that's like the peak, right? But I think like even the average people, if you are highly committed, if you are highly, dedicated to the cause, right? There is definitely a root in fitness, and a lot of people are starting to believe that, and that in turn has caused the fitness industry to go exponential, right? Rather than the place where we started from back in 2015.
So on that note, like another thing that came to my mind was back in the day, like there was a lot of prominence given to whoever was an athlete who was not a cricketer or a Ruggerite. Right. So like you guys were one of the first guys to take up content marketing in this space and like put some of these athletes on the spotlight and give them a platform to tell their stories. Like it's told before, powerlifting produced my very good friend Hey, good day, hope you're watching. Ransilu and a lot of other guys as well. So on that note, like how much of an impact has content marketing had in in the propulsion of both the industry as well as Strong.LK?
I think it has helped not only us, it has definitely helped us. Plus, we have seen results in other people as well, right? Because growing the social, like it's not like those days, just having Instagram following, there is bigger potential, right?
Yeah.
You can grow from there, you can earn, you can do wonders, right? So what we catered to at that point was also the same thing, right? And with the team that we currently have, that's what we are looking at, right? We want to inspire more people with the bigger team. We want to inspire more people. We want to cater for the greater good, like as we were talking about, cater to everything related to fitness, right?
Yeah. So it definitely has had a huge impact, and you all are going to continuously focus on content marketing as one of the
content marketing has been our founding pillar, right? And that has always been at the heart of our thing. And we, again, like as Senushka was saying, we believe that it is because of content marketing is the reason, one of the primary reasons that we are here, right? Like getting the community to get back behind us, right? We wouldn't be able to say, okay, this is the best supplement in the world, come get this, right? But rather, if you build a brand, right, and you build that through the content marketing that you do, and then like the sky is the limit, right? We can be a supplement company today, we can be a supplement manufacturer tomorrow, right? And not only supplement, like anything and everything, right? Again, getting back to that, like in terms of getting the right content to the people is the other challenge, right? Like getting knowledgeable people on board. And that is why, again, like as Senushka was saying, the team that we have planned for this future endeavors of ours, right? They are like a whole dedicated set of individuals, highly popular on Instagram, and not only popular, but highly dedicated towards the fitness industry, right? So then we believe that in terms of content marketing, we've got like a whole plan on how we can target different areas in fitness, right? And ensure that everyone is sufficiently knowledgeable in the fitness scene in Sri Lanka, and also would like to, like what do you call, would be interested enough to be started, right? Like let's say like a newbie, right? Like such as yourself, right? Like someone who's never seen a weight in their life, like what would push them?
Yasitha.
I think Abbar is going to have a rough night's sleep tonight.
No.
So that's what, right? I mean, like tomorrow you're going to be an online coaching client of ours. Next month you're going to have guys and supplements from us.
Sometimes.
So on that note, then I quickly interrupt you and ask you a question, right? So now here's a very interesting dynamic where we have two co-founders who have built the business, and there are other instances where sometimes there's only one founder, but there are multiple partners involved, either in a partnership or a private limited company. But along with it comes its challenges. There are egos at stake, there are different opinions, and so did you all like run into conflicts? How do you all then resolve those conflicts and come back to the same page? So could you maybe take us through that?
I think probably the chemistry that the both of us had, maybe for knowing each other for like more than a decade.
School days.
Yeah, I think we never ran into a problem. We obviously when we were starting the business also, we were told. The first guy where we went to print this t-shirt, this t-shirt, he was also like, he was telling, definitely, because he has also started his own, the printing business with one of his friends, school friends. So he was telling, definitely along the way, when money comes into play, there'll definitely be problems, because there'll be trust issues, there will come, because the way we think is also different, right? Yeah. But luckily for Yasitha and myself, we think in a different way, obviously, right? We think in a different way, but always we come into the common ground and we understand each other. We say, okay, if you think that's good, we can go ahead, right? We will not keep on arguing about it, but at some point we might have a mismatch in the ideas that we have, but it never goes along the way, right?
So never had like a fist fight or something?
No. Not yet.
I started.
I think I'm coming here starting conflicts that were never there.
But it's like starting fires here on the down.
So on that note, guys, like 2020 has been a very tricky year. Right, for everybody, it has kind of been a nightmare, I think. In general, right? And people keep saying, you know what, let's skip all the way to 2021. But on that note, COVID-19, what sort of an impact has it had on your business, and what is your view or like your take on when things will return to normalcy?
So I think like COVID-19 obviously did have an impact on our business, and not only ours, I think globally in every industry. I mean, in most of the industry, I guess, unless you're like making face masks or whatever, right? Those guys are balling right now, but
like a Zoom or something.
Exactly, right? Yeah, obviously there's like plenty of companies who are the same, but like in general, right? So we were one of the people hit as well. Mainly, I think for a couple of things, right? I think one, the curfew hit like all of a sudden as well, and then we didn't have enough time to gather our supply chain, get the products to the right places, because delivery was a huge bottleneck. Because whilst we did have inquiries or orders rather during the the lockdown, right? But there wasn't, at least in the initial phase, a particular way to provide the customers with the products, right?
And also we have to think about the safety, right? Because this is the first time we heard about something like this coronavirus, or we just knew about the Spanish flu that killed more than 1 million. But so the safety was also there. The safety problem was also there. So we thought twice about sending the product to a customer, because if we send a product to a customer and if the delivery guy has COVID, and if it gets if it goes to the customer, then the risk is on us, right?
No, not only that, the brand, right?
Yeah,
it's so hard for the brand, and just one.
We don't want
just to make a quick buck. We didn't want to do that initially, but along the way, when everything settled down, only we started the delivery.
Any predictions on when things will return to normal? Because that's a big question people have. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, there's an election around the corner. People are saying, will the country go down into lockdown as soon as the elections are over? But like, forget the elections. When do you think, as businessmen, you all have your gut instincts as well, right? When this whole thing will come?
I think,
do we have to wait till a vaccine?
To be honest, I think we'll have to adapt to the new normal, right? Not like, again, a vaccine is all well and done, and I don't think you can like wait for a miracle cure right now and like just hold everything, right? That will come, obviously, right? It could be 2021, mid 2021, but I don't think we can like halt our lives till then, right? We'll have to ensure social distancing, wearing masks, or the whole lot, right? Hand sanitizers. But we'll have to make sure that we adapt and also move along, as I was saying, without getting it as a hindrance, right? I think right now in Sri Lanka, that's been done really good. And as long as, again, like the contact tracing, the proper social guidelines are being followed, at least we can, maintain or, like get a grip on it until something is come up, right? But I don't think personally that it could be something that's going to be a quick fix, right?
But the people are saying after the election there'll be a problem, the curfew, they'll put up a curfew, but
to be honest, I don't think they put a curfew during work hours, definitely, right? Obviously, like I think like late night hangouts and all that. That's
probably we'll have to wait and see.
So Yasitha will have a tough time. Yes.
No. It's Senushka who's the party.
Okay.
Every Friday.
Okay. EMI, bro. And they know.
Oh shit. No.
Okay. So on that note, I'm sorry if I keep interrupting.
I'll add there. So I guess probably for a vaccine to come and if everything to go back to normal, we usually pray at least about more than 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Straight.
For sure,
right? But as in the question you asked, how it affected our business, right? But luckily, during March, I think 24th or something March only they put the curfew properly.
Yeah. I remember waiting in the supermarket.
Likewise.
So I think 24th or something they put up the curfew and they lifted it back on May 11th, right?
Yeah.
From March to I think the entire month of March we didn't send any deliveries, but April we had quite a few deliveries which we sent by taking proper precautions, right?
Okay.
Like we made sure the way they send the products are safe and all that. And we send the products, and we didn't have a loss there also, right? Or to be honest, because you asked how the business went on, right? Then also we did quite all right. But after that, surprisingly, because we were planning to take a hit, right? Because everyone was planning, because no one knew how is this going to go. Because when the government took the curfew off, people knew this is for the elections to come up, right? So people were scared, and we also we spoke about it. Me, Yasitha, Dush, we were also predicting that we were just thinking, okay, if this goes back into the same thing, we are going to go in a we will be taking a hit, right?
Yeah.
Because as a business, we have our stock, we have a store that is running currently. And we have different things planned in the future, right? Right. The investments we are going to make, we have to think about that twice before we make it now.
Exactly.
But luckily from May onwards, our sales have been amazing. It has been picking up. I would say a bit better than it was before COVID also.
Oh, wow, okay.
One reason could be either people are thinking about their health more.
Right.
We guess
I
that.
think the whole COVID thing has been eye-open, I think.
Definitely,
yeah.
yeah.
We were in a
People-
kind of a matrix and all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow.
People
And also like just lockdown itself, right? People have been staying home, you know,
Yeah.
getting their tummies more bigger, you know, like such as some people here, right? Like, okay, let's
They
not
understand
lash out
that-
of
Are we
this.
going
So, no.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, general point, right? I think.
Don't worry, man. I'm going to join Strong.LK soon.
This guy's he's gonna start his whole fitness career, I think. But yeah, like general point is like people, you know, who maybe were not really thinking of fitness, as Senushka was saying, as it's been a real eye opener, that they need to have this positive change in their life, not only you know, for their like to have a good physique or whatever, but in terms of health wise, right, to be able to, you know, live sufficiently enough. And that, as we are in the industry to be able to cater these people their health needs, right, we have as a result been able to do pretty well after quarantine. So as long as there is no physical lockdowns during the time periods where we can do our business, right, it has been in fact great, right, and I think it will continue to do so for our industry at least. But yeah, I think obviously there are specific industries who are hit, like travel industry and what. Yeah, not right. Yeah, those guys good. But other than that, I mean, for us personally, after quarantine, it's been as good as ever.
That's good to hear, man. I think good things happen to good people.
Hey.
And on the same note, like, you can only control what you can control. Like, whatever that you can't
Exactly.
control is something that you shouldn't focus your attention on. I think that's the gist of what we discussed now. So on that note, boys, like, what is the future of Strong.LK?
Okay, so the future of Strong.LK, again, I think, to be honest, I don't think both me and Senushka can say what the ultimate future of Strong.LK is right now, because as we were telling before, when we started this as well, we didn't know that we would come this far ahead, right? So it's not about, you know, the end result. I'd say it's like the journey, right?
It's been a journey of discovery, I guess.
Exactly, it's been a journey of discovery, right? But again, as long as you have that passion, you're going to discover new things, you're going to be able to put that effort. Like right now, obviously we have a huge passion in terms of doing things physically, right? So that's something that both of our time commitments has hindered us from doing, you know, these boot camps, seminars, expos, right? We've had all of those particular things planned out in great detail before, but in terms of execution, we couldn't because of our time commitments. But then again, now with our team launching as well, we are going to multiply our efforts in terms of, you know, the manpower that we have behind this organization, right? And that will actually help us come into the physical space, right? In terms of doing the things that I told, like boot camp, seminars. If we have a good fitness expo planned as well in the probably in the upcoming future, depending on all these physical things go on, right? But yeah, that's something in terms of the physical space that you want. But again, as I was saying, like in terms of the ultimate goal, it's been a journey of discovery so far. It will continue to be a journey of discovery in the future as well. But as long as we have the passion, I'm pretty sure that we are going to be able to find new things as well as execute new things, right? So,
awesome. So I'll ask one last question before I let you guys go, because I know it's like really late now. Thank you so much for your time, boys, once again.
Thanks for having us.
yeah.
For sure, man. It's a pleasure. So my question is, there are so many aspiring entrepreneurs who are watching this, right? They could be business students, corporate professionals, but they all are aspiring to win in the field of business, in the game of business. So I would like to hear from both of you, from Yasitha and Senushka, what are some of the tips and advice and guidance that you would like to provide these aspiring entrepreneurs in the future to be successful in this game?
I would say, like, going back to the roots of Yasitha and myself, right? Because people, like, if you talk to 10 people, especially in university, if you talk to 10 people, at least 6 of them would say, okay, I want to start a business. Who want to become an entrepreneur? I want to become an entrepreneur. But to take that, the first step is always the hardest, right?
Yeah.
The first step is always hardest, like to think about that, because we have seen so many people thinking about idea and sitting on it, but not executing it and implementing
Not
it,
making
right?
the jump.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that is one of the biggest problems that we have. We think about the idea so much. What could go wrong there, right? We don't see what could go right. There's a risk. It's not easy, but in my opinion, what you could do is like if you want to start a business, you should take the first step. Like slowly, you don't have to think about all the money and no need to invest the entire belongings that you have. But whatever you can do with whatever you have, take the first step and go forward. That's the best to start with.
Yasitha, could you also take that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a same, concept as Senushka, because I think that's the mutual thing that both of us have had in terms of starting it, right? Like, again, as Senushka was saying, like, a lot of people think they don't have the time, right? But in fact, there's 24 hours of the day, you can always find the time to do what you like to do, right? But it's a lot of people, they just spend most of the time in planning, but rather than, just getting down and doing it. And what I firmly believe is you just need to take the first step, right? And everything is going to be a snowball of that. Not that doesn't mean that everything after that doesn't need to be planned out, but like just the first step, just get down and do it, right? As we were saying, like the first 30 minutes of like we just started Strong.LK off a 30-minute conversation. We did the logo back then, but after that, it's been thorough planning throughout, right? But it's just that we got down, we were committed to it. Once you start it, the rest of it, it's going to be a snowball, right? And also, again, to start what you've been passionate about, right? We couldn't have been doing this like if we were, if we started like a clothing store or whatever, right? Obviously fitness was our passion. As long as you have that, the fire inside you to do the thing that you would like to do, anything you do in that space, I think is going to go really well, right? As long as you take the first step and you're in the right heart, the right industry that you really like to do well in. So what they say, right? If you love what you're doing, you're never going to work a day in your life. So I firmly believe in that. So as long as you are passionate, it doesn't matter. You're going to spend like out of 24 hours, you'll spend all of them without sleep, without eat, doing what you love. So start up on it, the rest will come.
Make sure you follow.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here as well. And we'd like to thank both Yasitha and Senushka. They've been an amazing entrepreneurs, amazing role models for aspiring entrepreneurs in the field of fitness and nutrition. Not only that, I'm sure they'll be branching out into other areas as well. Yasitha, you did take a lot of digs at me, especially at my tummy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a commitment to start working out from tomorrow onwards. I would say tomorrow onwards, right?
That's a good start. That's a good start.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, this is the Entrepreneur Wired podcast. This is episode number 3 with Strong.LK's co-founders Yasitha and Senushka. At Entrepreneur Wired, we share entrepreneurial stories of startups and brand stories. And like we did today, we take you through the journey that these gentlemen had gone in their lives in making their business a success. So until next time, this is Abad Fauzan signing off on behalf of Entrepreneur Wired. I'll see you next time.